Shema Yasha'Allah, Yahweh, Allahayanawa, Yahweh, Achad, Shema Yasha'Allah, Yahweh, Allahayanawa, Yahweh, Achad, Shema Yasha'Allah, Yahweh, Allahayanawa, Yahweh, Achad. Brakatha Yahweh, Brakatha Yahweh Shai, Brakatha Yahweh, Brakatha Yahweh Shai, Brakatha Yahweh, Brakatha Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Hakodash. I want to give double honors to our elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone who rule well, as well as peace and blessings, health and wellness to the house of David the elect. All right. And today I want to go into a topic entitled "The Hidden Ones Amongst the Nations Shall Be Exalted." The hidden ones amongst the nation shall be exalted. All right. In reference to the scriptures in Psalm 83, where it said they have basically seek counsel against the hidden ones. Okay. And the hidden ones are referring to who? The 12 tribes scattered amongst the different nations. And we're called the hidden ones because we're hidden under different identities. All right, under different bywords and proverbs, all right, that obscure, all right, your perception of his people. All right, we're hidden in plain sight amongst the nations. Just how Esau Edom is hidden in plain sight amongst the nations, Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai's chosen ones are hidden in plain sight amongst the nations. Okay, we're hidden under bywords called African Americans, all right, minorities, Hispanics, Latino, and Native Americans. All right, we're hidden under different names and different bywords and proverbs. All right, the untouchables. All right, over there in India. All right, we're hidden under the name of criminals. All right, but key words that give clues to who we are is something denoting something that's undesired. As it says in Zephaniah, gather yourselves together, O nation not desired. So when you have subcultures, subgroups amongst the nations, and they're usually at the bottom of the caste system, they're at the bottom of the caste system, they have a name denoting something that's an outcast, all right, amongst the nations. And in most cases, those are the biblical Israelites, all right, according to Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, all right, how we will be, scattered amongst the nations, all right. As it says in Daniel 9 and 11, the curse, according to the contract in the book of Deuteronomy, all right, is taking effect. All right, so starting, all right, 2000 AD, man. All right, really prior to that, man. All right, not AD, I'm sorry. Starting 2,000 years ago. Before that, the curses have taken effect. So you have Israelites scattered. All right, you have the northern kingdom scattered amongst the Assyrian Empire, who had their diaspora amongst the known world at that time. All right, apart from the northern kingdom that came over here on ships, all right, pursuant to 2nd Ezra, the 13th chapter, where it speaks about these 10 tribes. Okay, where it speaks about the 10 tribes. But aside from them, you had northern kingdom that was still there, all right, in the eastern parts of the world, all right, according to the scriptures. An example is the book of Tobit. The book, our forefather Tobit was a Naphtalianite. He was of the tribe of Naphtali, all right, but he was in Nineveh, Assyria, all right, and his son Tobias, all right, married an Israelite, all right, that was currently residing where? In Media, which is Iran. So you had northern kingdom living in Iran. You had northern kingdom living in Iran. All right, living amongst Elam. Okay, living amongst the Medes. All right, which is Japhet. All right, you had northern kingdom, all right, living amongst Elam in India. All right, you had northern kingdom living in North Africa. All right, how do I know? Acts the 2nd chapter and the 5th verse According to the high holy days, there were times of the year where you would come back to the old country. This is the real Mecca. You'll come to Jerusalem. And it tells you in Acts the 2nd chapter, you had Jews amongst the other nations that spoke the language of the other nations in Jerusalem. All right, amongst from Elam, from Acts the 2nd chapter names the different nations, but it was several showing you that these were Israelites who were still keeping the laws. Another clue that a lot of subgroups and subcultures amongst these different nations are Israelites is that they still have laws, all right, that's rooted back in the Torah, or what they call the Torah. Like Gad, they have a lot of tribes amongst Gad, all right, or subgroups amongst Gad have laws of cleanliness. There are certain Gadite and Reubenite songs where they straight up say Yahweh, Yahweh, or it might be a broken form of it. They might say Yehovah, all right, but they know who that great spirit is, man. All right, they have laws of cleanliness. All right, you see, where did they get this from, man? They got it from their ancestry, their forefathers, man. Because in certain ways, they did not depart from their ancestral standard. In a lot of ways, they did depart in their ancestral standard. But in a lot of ways, they did not depart from the ancestral standard. Another example of the 12 tribes being scattered amongst our people, or who you call Native American Indians, they're really Israelites. The tribe of Reuben wears turbans. All right, and a lot of Gadites wear fringes. Okay, a lot of them have broken Hebrew in their language, straight up. But a lot of subcultures, all right, a lot of subgroups amongst the nations who they don't even know their full identity, they're Israelites. Because one clue is that they have bywords denoting being rejects amongst the nations. It tells you in Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, that you will be a byword and a proverb. So a lot of subgroups, all right, that are really in the slums of other nations somebody's horn is going off right now. But a lot of subgroups who are in the slums of other nations are actually Hebrew Israelites, all right, according to the Bible. All right, they might look like the nations, or they might look like whoever they are amongst, but they are really Israelites. And what a lot of these pro-black Israelites don't speak on is that you have a lot of Northern Kingdom mixed amongst the other nations. They look like the other nations. That's why a lot of the other nations look like the Northern Kingdom. A lot of so-called Mexicans, a lot of so-called Puerto Ricans look like some fucking Persians, man. They look like Elam. They look like Ishmael. All right, because we were over there. We were over there. The Northern Kingdom, because of the Assyrian conquest, all right, they were dispersed amongst the nations, man. All right. But they had, although a lot of them are scattered seeds amongst the nations, we had Hebrew communities amongst the nations. We had Hebrew communities. That's how in America, you have a Chinatown. You have a Little Italy, which are Israelites. All right. You have Elam, areas amongst Elam where they can go to a Hindu temple. They could go to this Elamite grocery store. All right. They have their communities amongst the dominant power culture. Amongst the dominant culture. You have the Amish. But I have reason to believe a lot of the Amish are Israelites. Why would Edomites be that close to the Most High like that? Why would they? The scripture says the wicked are estranged from the womb. The wicked are estranged from the womb. You see? But I'm speculating. You just say something in the spirit or through the spirit without really going into research. But I might say it through the spirit first, and the spirit will hop on me to go into the research. But the Amish, they have an agrarian way of life that's really rooted back to Jerusalem, back to the old country, or the old country, man. Yeah, they might have their roots back in the Dutch, all right. But who's to say those Dutch aren't Israelites, foreigners? All right. Once again, the Edomite mindset is to be liberated from these laws and to be liberated from these restrictions. So even the Amish, they have been in speculation, man, because they're a subculture amongst the dominant culture. You see, that's not to say that, they didn't have devils in the 16th, 17th, 18th century. They didn't come here as Christians. But look what they did to our people, man. And of course you have devils amongst the Amish community. But in general, man, I got to think about those Amish now. I'm speculating on them. Because I'm speculating on these subcultures. These subcultures that's outside of the dominant power structure, man. Because it's not about your looks, it's about your spirit. And they had this mindset, the Amish had this mindset, hey, we know the scriptures, we know that in the last days people are going to depart from the faith and people are going to do this. And they took that mindset and said, we're not going to be like these other Edomites setting up these cities here in America. All right, this being degenerates. This is like the 16th, 17th, 1800s, man. If that makes sense, they're not going to be a part of the world. So that's not really an Idumean mindset. That's not a reflective of a Roman mindset or a Grecian mindset. So I'm starting to speculate that a lot of these Amish, they have their roots back in Jacob, man. They have their roots back to Jacob, man. These subcultures amongst the nations, man. These orthodox subcultures, these orthodox subcultures, man. Whether they willingly are set aside from the nations or they're set aside from the nations, man. There's a good chance that a lot of these subcultures are the hidden ones. They're the hidden ones because they're hidden under different identities. All right, but one thing a lot of them have in common is they're dirt poor, man. They're not economically on point. They're not economically advantaged. You see? They're not economically at an advantage. A lot of them, they live in the slums amongst the nations. They're rejected amongst the nations. They're basically abhorred amongst the nations. According to the scriptures, you're going to be abhorred amongst the nations. All right? But the scriptures didn't say all the scattered Israelites who was walking around with afros and beards did it. It did not say that. And it didn't say that you was going to fully keep the laws in these captivities. Because a lot of the scattered Israelites, they have some of the laws that go back to Jacob, but then they've adopted the ways of the heathen. Like Levi down there on the island and like Jacob over there in Africa, they got certain Hebrew customs, but they got certain Hamite cultures too. Hamite customs, man. So a lot of Jake out there in West Africa, they have certain Hebrew customs, but they also have some Hamitic customs too. They're hoodoo. Jake on the island, they practice voodoo, but they also call themselves Roman Catholics. You see? So that's Jake, man. But that was Jake back in the old country, man. They went under those groves in secret, man, and sacrificed swine's flesh in secret, because they was captivated by the enchantments of the rituals of the heathen. That's how Jake over there in Africa was captivated by the rituals of Ham. And they brought that shit to the island of Haiti. So, the Israelites in this prison planet, in this world, they're scattered like hidden gems in the planet Earth, man. All right? Well, those hidden gems often, more than not, are hidden communities or subcultures amongst the nations, man, who have identities that's synonymous with words like outcasts and rejects, and they have stigmas on them like they're criminals and robbers and thieves. But when you actually go amongst them, all right, it might not be so. Of course, they have their curses, like Jake has their curses. Like a lot, you go amongst Jake, right? There's a stigma like Jake out here killing, and they are killing. But a lot of these neighborhoods, it's not as bad as the news puts it out. You know, you'll go to somebody, you might have loved ones in some of these neighborhoods. You might travel to a certain city, and your relatives are there. But you could at least be out of the cook. You know, you might be able to cook out of some shit. You know what I mean? It's like it's not as bad as they projected it on TV. You know. But that's part of the curses is you subject to a stigma that's not even reflective of who you are. That's why we get treated a certain way, because the witchcraft, which is the media, all right, it put an identity on us that's not reflective of who we are. So when we walk into a restaurant, when we walk into an establishment, all right, people look at us and they get all uncomfortable because of what's been told them about us. Like, it's like, no, I'm not going to break in your car. Stop fucking tuning your fucking alarm. You know, although Jake do beyond that, you know, but Esau, hey, he's the accuser of our brethren in many ways. The main way is he's going back to the highest and telling him, see, they're sinning. But this man accuses us every day on TV, and he's the real criminal hiding in plain sight on this planet, who calls himself the chosen man. You know? But that's pretty much the point, man. The hidden ones amongst the nations should be exalted. All right, the hidden ones are like scattered gems amongst the nations, man. All right? It's like a Moroccan geode, man. Like if you hit the gemstones, that's what they call a geode. Or Moroccan geode. On the outside, it's all rough around the edges. When you crack it open, it's beautiful, pure, clear quartz, man. Beautiful, pure quartz crystals. You see? Beautiful crystals inside. But on the outside is all rough and undesired. It tells you in Hosea that we'll be like a vessel wherein there's no pleasure. So if you look at a Moroccan geode, you can look it up. A Moroccan geode. Geode. I think that's how you spell it. All right. On the outside, like you will overlook it. But when you crack it open, it's like, whoa, it's a hidden gem. And that's what the Israelites are. On the outside, meaning the stigma or your perception of us is rough. All right. There's nothing to be sought after. But when you go behind a veil, you realize that we're the hidden gems of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai. All right. But with that, I do hope you Akim were edified. All right. Once again, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Chahakodash. I also want to give double honors to our elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone who rule well, as well as peace and blessings, health and wellness to the house of the elect. Abba Baal, Kum Yasha Allah, Shalom.